Should we penalize the perverted purveyors of unsolicited dude nudes with hard time and stiff fines? See what I did there? Hello and welcome to Cybercrime. I'm Josh Murphy, and today on the show, we talk all things cyberflashing. Who's doing it, who's viewing it, and the growing movement to fight back that's a brewing against it. According to dictionary.com, cyberflashing is the act of using digital means, such as a messaging app or social media platform, to send sexual or pornographic images, such as a nude photo of oneself, to someone without their consent. The practice is especially associated with men who send unsolicited photos of their genitalia to women. The term first entered the tech lexicon in 2015 after an incident in the UK, when during her regular commute to work, a woman received an airdrop request from another passenger on the train, and you guessed it, it was a photo of his wiener. Nope, not that kind of wiener. Oh boy, red hot. Oh, yep, got it. The woman felt understandably violated by the incident, which led police to investigate and to suggest new safety guidelines. And in the coming years, with the growth of new smartphone tech and social media, cyberflashing became an increasingly urgent issue across the US, UK, Asia, and around the world. According to a 2017 study by the Pew Research Center, roughly 3 in 10 Americans and just over half of young women have had explicit images sent to them without their consent. And a 2018 study by dating app Bumble revealed that 1 in 3 women have received unsolicited lewd images from strangers online, with 96% reporting they were not happy about it.
This one guy that I'd never met sent me this video where he had printed out my face, and then the video is of him pulling himself off until he ejaculates all over the photo that he printed out of me.
I've been modeling for about 6 years, but my following didn't really grow much until I was like 18 and I started posting some more risque content.
Have you personally ever been cyberflashed?
The first one that comes to mind, this picture of somebody and they had themselves tied up with rope.
We'd better tie him up.
And their genitals were tied in a way that they were being asphyxiated is the word, maybe.
It's so common that we don't really even discuss it because it's just something that happens all the time.
Basically turning purple and swollen and looking like they were gonna like pop. I guess it's like self-mutilation, torture or something. I don't know. It hasn't left my mind that the image will be ingrained in my brain forever.
I have to ask, this is so uncouth, but I'm gonna go there. When you get dick pics, are they posed? Is there some production value here? What is the strategy, do you suppose, of the guys who send the dick pic?
You know, there's a lot of effort that men will go into to develop these photos and videos, and then there's ones that I would say just do it and send it out, like there's less thinking about it. But I would say a lot of men take a lot of care in taking those images or photos, videos.
Now, some of you may be thinking, so you saw a little skin. What's the big deal? Well, cyberflashing can quickly escalate to something scarier, wilder, and much more serious. Just ask dating expert Sarah Javons.
It's not okay to randomly send a photo or a video that the other person has no idea what it is. And when it's something explicit, like that can cause a lot of damage, especially if there's people that are receiving that have been through sexual harassment themselves, that have been, through experiences that have created a lot of sexual trauma.
Like, let's say on a subway or on an airplane, they could in fact be right next to the person or right behind that person's seat.
In the past, it feels like flashing was something that a guy in a trench coat in an alley would do, or somebody in the bushes, but now it's turned digital. What motivated this turn in the modern age to cyberflashing?
No one actually sees who you are. You know, you saw the guy in the trench coat, you saw them, open the trench coat, you could see their face very clearly. But with cyberflashing, generally, you don't know who it is. It's very anonymous.
The trend or the theme across many of these crimes is this anonymity that the internet provides, which allows the perpetrator to somehow remove themselves from the risk of the situation, and kind of emboldens them to perpetrate this behavior on many more people than otherwise would be possible if it was in the real world, in the physical world.
There was a lot of women terrified to communicate their boundaries because of consequences. And I'm definitely one of those women that has stayed quiet in the past because I'm uncomfortable and I'm scared. Like, I will just pretend like there's nothing wrong until I get away from the threat. And that's the reality. We don't know. Like, if I actually tell you I'm not comfortable with this, how are you going to react?
Unfortunately, Sarah and Emma's stories are not uncommon. There are countless men and women around the world dealing with this bone of contention. So, what can we do to combat cyberflashing? Around the world, governments, law enforcement agencies, private companies, and even individuals are doing their part to fight back against cyberflashing. And their strategies are diverse and, frankly, kind of hilarious. Meta-owned Instagram is working on a new AI technology, for example, called nudity protection that would securely detect and cover nudity. NFT the DP co-creator Zoe Skaman has created a powerful disincentive for dick pic desperados with her website, which allows women to turn unwanted dick pics into art and then sell them back to the sender. Ouch. Yikes. And just last month, a new law signed by California Governor Gavin Newsom allows victims of cyberflashing to sue senders of obscene material for up to 30 grand. This following in the footsteps of other countries like Singapore and Scotland who have already criminalized cyberflashing.
When we have powerful technologies that open up new capabilities, it's just an inevitability that those features will be misused.
Normally when someone sends an unexpected, explicit image to someone that they're trying to gain their attention, they're trying to get some kind of romantic connection, normally it's coming from a very weak point. You know, they're struggling, they're not getting the person's attention. So this is trying to push the boundary.
Like, there is a lot of women out there that are terrified to communicate their boundaries because of consequences, because they might feel threatened. They might be scared of what might happen if they actually express what they really want.
So, what can you do to protect yourself and your loved ones from unwanted sexual imagery?
Some of the ways you can protect yourself are to use fewer services, to not use a service that allows, let's say, unsolicited communication from strangers.
What's very, very clear in our digital world is we can't expect the tech giants to look after us. You know, we really need to go into these kinds of privacy settings in our phone and change them so that it suits us. So one is things like checking your AirDrop. If you have an Apple device, that the AirDrop setting is to your contacts only or to no one.
If you had a daughter and she was going down the same social media path as you, what advice would you give her to stay safe?
I would explain predators. I would explain a predator's mindset. It's just good to know these kind of things because I was never told any of this. My parents didn't know any of this kind of stuff, so I think it's going to be good that I can give them this kind of knowledge when they're very young so that when they are witnessing these kind of things, they can be prepared for it and be safe.
With our phones and social media becoming an increasingly indistinguishable part of our daily lives, the reality is, unfortunately, we've not seen the last of these meta pervs. But if we can stay vigilant and smart, we've got a good shot at protecting ourselves from some of the more insidious effects of cyberflashing. And to all you fuckboys out there, here's a little rhyme to help you decide whether or not it's okay to send that picture. If the pic or the flick would make your mom sick, then don't send an image of your dick to a person on a train. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Josh Murphy for Cybercrime, Cybernara. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell your friends.